Hello, can you hear me? 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 All right, there we are. You guys can hear me. Fantastic. I thought we had some technical difficulties there. We did have a few technical difficulties there at the outset, but no worries. Here we are. Welcome to the Voice Den session number 2. Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to have you along. And first of all, we need to give a special hello, welcome to anybody that is new to our community, to the voice community. You people, if you have not been to a voice event before, if you have not been to the Voice Den before, comment in there. I want to hear that. Just put down like new. I'm new. I want to learn. Just put something so I know that you are new here, and we are going to do our best to make you feel welcome. For those of you that have been here before, make sure that you say hi to these new people and welcome them into our community. All right, here we go. Daniel, you're new to the Voice Den? I know you're not new to the voice community. Nice try there. But yeah, Daniel, welcome. It's awesome to have you. George, awesome. Jeremy, first time. Saeed, Amy, Jeremy. Oh, I love it. Carrie, welcome. All of you guys. And okay, Christina, you got to the next part. My question was going to be, where are you located right now? And you already put down you're in London. Where else is everybody? Let's hear that too. New to the Voice Den, new to the voice community. I love it. Okay. I could do that all hour, but I think you'd get bored with that. So we're going to move on. What I want you to do on top of that is you're going to see a little poll that shows up on your screen. If you don't see it, you're going to see a little text button that says poll on the bottom. You can click on that and let's take a poll right now. Let's see, is this your first time in the Voice Den? How many people? So far, 6 say yes, 7 say yes, and there are 1 says no. So it's mostly new people. All right, here we go. All right. Oh, it's balancing out a little bit. Okay, you can keep doing that. The other thing I'm going to point out to you is just next to polls, you're going to see a little text button that says ask a question. Remember that, because that's going to be very important here in a little bit when we get to talking to our voice fluencers. Now, what I want to do is I want to introduce you to the voice fluencers and tell you how this is going to work. This is very different than other webinars that I think you've been on. I don't like to call this a webinar. I call it a discussion, a dialogue, a voice den where we can all chat. And what I want to do is tell you a little bit about the different voice fluencers that are part of our show today. So first of all, we have Bot Woman, Rachel Batish. She is the VP Product Strategy for AudioBurst. By the way, if you haven't checked out AudioBurst, check them out because they're doing really cool stuff with audio and making audio searchable and all this kind of stuff. So check them out. She focuses on the product roadmap and strategic thinking. And she works to connect consumers with unique listening experiences across platforms. She's also the author of VoiceBot and Chatbot Design. And she's founded a number of organizations to promote networking and education in the AI and voice space. So it is fantastic to have Bot Woman. And she, little known fact, started running for the first time when she turned 40. So good for you, Rachel. I bet there's some other runners. If you are a runner, by the way, in this group right now, in the den, comment on that right now. Tell me you're a runner, because there's a little running theme just by fluke with some of these voice fluencers here. All right. All right. So that's Rachel. And we've got JP Poulter, the Godfather of voice. He is the CEO of Vixen Labs, and that's a voice first consultancy. And he's also the founder of UK's leading voice and AI community, Voice2. He's an innovation and marketing consultant with over 10 years of experience. And what can I say? He's a funny guy. Sorry, now you got to live up to that, JP. And he's a good dude too. So that's JP for you. And he once sung in a choir outside 10 Downing Street. JP, you might have to sing for us on the show. Just give me a little heads up there. Okay. Next, we have Captain Kindness. And I absolutely love this name for Noelle Silver because, you may have seen the tweet, when I think about kind people in the voice space, she is one of those people that comes to mind. So she is the head of data science, analytics, and full stack web development university programs at HackerU. She has so much experience in so many of the big tech companies. And if you've heard her speak, she's an incredibly dynamic speaker. So we are so lucky to have Noelle here and to answer some of your questions. Utile, the Optimist. He's a futurist But as you may have seen the tweet as well, a lot of people kind of have this bad idea of what the future is going to look like. Not Ian. Ian is the CEO of Attention Live. He believes that voice tech and the distributed ledger will empower global processes at an accelerated rate. His company launched a live podcasting platform with a voice interface and blockchain integration for automation. He's built several well-successful companies, enjoys the role of entrepreneur in residence at Runway Innovation Hub at the City College of San Francisco and at 2 different international nonprofit organizations. And it's so great to have Ian with us as well. Not just a Futures, the Futures. All right. Oh, and his little special fact was that he lives in a treehouse. And you may get a little glimpse of that a little bit later on. You'll have to see. All right. And finally, last but not least, we have Arianne Walker. She is the chief evangelist for Alexa Automotive. And she helps to educate the automotive industry about voice. She spent almost 20 years in the automotive industry in various roles at Oracle Data Cloud, JD Power, prior to coming to Amazon. Throughout her career, she's focused on telling stories with data, including the years before automotive and tech when she conducted social science research at universities. And apparently she's pretty good when it comes to 80s music. So anybody want to challenge her? I think we could just bring up a little extra game here and have a little fun with that. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. But we're so pleased to have her. And along those lines, representing Amazon, I have to say, I have to give a big shout out to Amazon Alexa, because they, thanks to their generous sponsorship, they are the sponsors of this voice in this session. And without them, as you may know, if you were here last time, we actually charged for this event, and Amazon Alexa has given a generous sponsorship for this, and it made this event free to everyone. And I can tell you, just by the number of people that are registered and the interaction going here, the number of people here is huge. And so big thanks to Amazon. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for bringing this to everybody. Okay, now enough of that stuff. We need to get to the Voicefluencers, and we're going to bring them on screen just very briefly, just to say hi, and then we're going to get on with the program. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring them on one at a time, and we'll invite them on. So let's bring up Rachel. This takes just a second. As you'll notice, just in the transitions here, there's a second or two. So bear with us as we do that. We're going to bring Rachel up just to say hello and welcome her, and she can say hello to all of you here on the Voice Stand. And while I'm doing that, we'll invite up some other people as well so that we can maybe get a couple people going at the same time. So then Rachel's coming up. There she is. Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Going well. How's it going in Canada?
Pretty good. Thank you for being here. I'm really excited to have you share your knowledge with everybody and their questions. So thank you for being part of this. It's really wonderful. So
thanks for having me. Hi, everyone.
All right. And so with that, here comes James. JP. He's coming up here in just one sec, and we're going to bring up Noelle as well. He comes on here. We'll invite up a couple of Voicefluencers to say hi. All right. James. And there's Noelle. Oh, how?
I'm coming back with video.
All right. Little technical difficulties. No worries. We can roll with the punches here.
You should just shuffle me off when needed.
It's all good.
I'll be
it's all
waiting
good.
anyway.
It's all good. It's all good. We're just having a good time here. So it's all good. No worries at all. All right. So Noelle, thank you as well for being here. I'm excited for people to chat with you. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
All right. And then let's bring up Ian. And we'll bring up, and while we're doing that, there is JP. Hey, JP. And he's got the drink. If you've got a drink and you are ready for the Voice Stand, my man.
So
you
ready.
are ready for the Voice Stand. There we go. All right. So JP's there, and we've got Ian there. Welcome to both of you guys. Thank you for being here. Anything you want to say?
Very good.
Ian, are you at that weird stage in Cupertino where they did WWDC this week? You look like you're floating somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
there you
know,
go.
I brought my boards. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm in my studio doing some photo shoots and some videos, and I'm doing the voice den right here, right now. But I have all this stuff set up, so I thought, why not use it for the backdrop?
Very nice.
Awesome, guys.
Guys, I
Awesome,
just
guys.
want you to time check.
Look at that. Look at that commitment, JP.
That's an
It's
early morning
1:11
for you.
That
in the
is
morning.
That is an
commitment.
early morning for you.
For those of you that have thought this event was happening on a Wednesday, not accurate.
It's actually Thursday morning.
It's actually
Thursday morning for James. All right. And Arianne,
Yes,
hello,
hi.
welcome. Thank you for being here.
So excited to be here. Hey, everybody.
All right. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to close these videos down for a sec, and I'm going to explain to everybody. Down at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see an ask a question text. Here is where it gets interesting now. If you want to be on the hot seat and have a live chat with these voicefluencers, you click on that ask a question button at the bottom of your screen, and you type in the name of the voicefluencer that you want to ask a question to and a question. If you happen to be a new person to the community and you don't mind sharing that as well there, you could put in brackets you're new or something, because if at all possible, I do kind of want to make an effort to bring the new people up on screen. Okay. But regardless, you can ask a question down there, and what you can do, everybody else can click on the ask a question button, and you can actually vote on your favorite question. And so the most popular questions are going to rise to the top. And as they rise to the top, we are going to be able to bring people on. So I can see that we've got Daniel. Daniel has got a question for Ian. Can you talk about your live stream platform? So let's do this, okay? Let's invite Daniel on screen. So Daniel, be ready here. And we're going to bring Ian on, and everybody else start asking questions if you've got some questions for these voicefluencers. This is your chance to do it. Okay. So Daniel, you're going to get a notification to come on screen, and we're going to bring on Ian. So Ian, you're going to get the notification as well. And then, I think I'm going to bring on Rachel, because Rachel's got some really interesting audio stuff going on for this one as well. So it might be interesting to get Rachel's opinion on this one as well. So, okay, Daniel, how's it going? Good, except your audio is a little bit hard to hear. Can you try that one more time? Sound a little bit hard to hear. Is it coming through clear to everybody else?
No, it's fuzzy, Daniel. Maybe
It's fuzzy?
try
All
a different mic input.
All right, we may need to come back to you, Daniel.
That's fine. I'm not offended.
It does sound like Chipmunk Daniel. You sound a bit like a chipmunk. No offense, but let's.
But you look great. You look great.
Fantastic.
It's just the audio we're having a problem with, and with the audio burst being here, it really matters. And
I'm not sure what the settings were.
Okay, let's. All right. So what we're gonna do is let's. Daniel, I'm gonna come back to you. Okay, I'll let you kind of try that out. I'm gonna come back to you in just a sec, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the next question here, and we've got Alexa Auto finally in Canada. All right, let's do that. So I'm gonna bring up George. So George, you're gonna get an invitation to come on the screen here, and Ian, I think I'm gonna boot you here for Arianne.
Arianne.
All right, yeah. Okay, so let's do that. And Rachel, I think we're going to keep you on there as well for this one. So let's do that. Okay. Here we go. Arianne, I'm going to send you an invitation here. Okay. And then George, just inviting you on as well. All right, we're in business. Okay. So we've got Arianne and Rachel. Now, the other thing that I should mention is that there's a time limit on these conversations. So when these conversations start, you get 5 minutes and then it's over. And I'm ruthless. I stop you at the 5-minute time point, and you'll know when your time is up. So here we go. All right, there we are. Hey, George.
Hey guys, listen, it's great to see Alexa Auto in Canada finally. So my big beef is how come Alexa always lags with introducing features in Canada? Like, I understand we've got English and French, but please come sooner.
I hear ya. I hear ya. And, we got to replace it as quickly as we can. With the Echo Auto specifically, we started with an invite program because there are a lot of challenges in the car, as you may know, in terms of noise and how voice works. And so we actually wanted to get out the Echo Auto to a number of our customers to actually be able to use it in some of the hundreds of thousands of vehicles that are out there on the road. So to find out what was working and what we needed to tweak just a little bit and make some modifications to. So then once we got some of that feedback, we launched the Echo Auto fully in 2019, and really just not too much longer. Maybe it felt like a long time. We were able to bring it to Canada and a number of other countries. We made that announcement just last week, and we're really excited about it. So now I have one of the devices here with me. So
Wow.
hopefully you have one now too.
I'm waiting for them to go on sale. I see they're on sale in the US right now. But they're still at top price here in Canada.
Yeah, I think they're $69.99 in Canada right now, right?
And $29.99 in the great US of A.
Yes, yeah.
And George, so what are you looking forward to doing with your Echo Auto in the car? Like, how do you see yourself using it?
All of the features. I love alarms. I love the basic stuff. I love timing. Chatting. Google Maps. Really all the basic stuff, just to make the whole entertainment or edutainment or whatever we want to call it more feasible and just easy to use.
I think Rachel can comment on some of the stuff they're doing as well. You want to, in terms of car and entertainment and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, a little bit different than what we see coming out from Alexa, but we're actually on the content side, so on the entertainment side for the driver. So Audio Burst is actually providing with playlists of spoken word audio. So we analyze around 7 million minutes a month of broadcasted radio and podcast on our system. And then the output would be a personalized listening experience that is based on talk audio. So you can choose the topics of your interest, whether it's tech or cars or even Alexa or, voice, and all the way to current affairs like, COVID-19 or elections or anything like that. And then once you get into the car, you can actually say also, Alexa, play Audio Burst, and it will play your automatically personalized playlist. So that's a cute experience. We work through Alexa. We work through deeper integration with the car manufacturers, the OEM. And if you don't have the car that yet has it, or an Android Auto or CarPlay, you can just download our app and try it yourself.
Cool. Any other questions about that or anything else, George? You got these two really knowledgeable women here on the screen with you.
That's great, but I gave Arianne a question in the chat box. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, if you want to answer it sometime. It's highly related. What's the group for chains of love?
You want the playlist for that? Is that what you're asking?
No, name that group.
Oh, name it.
It's an 80s question.
Man. Oh.
I love it. Put her on the spot.
Okay, wait. I got to sing it in my head, and maybe I'll think of the group. Shoot. Okay, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to come back to you.
Okay.
I actually really like that song. But George, wait, I have a question for you because we still have another minute. I have a question for you. What do you love to do at home that you can now do in your car with Alexa? That's one of the things that I love about Alexa, is being able to have that consistency from home to car and back again. So including playing music.
Because I don't have it yet, I'm going to have to explore that. So
okay,
I'll have to get back to you too.
All right, that sounds good. Well, you can listen to Chains of Love, at home. Ask Alexa to pause, and then finish it in the car. By who? I'm going to think of it.
Okay, did you want a hint or not?
Too much pressure.
Starts with
Starts with what? Starts with
E. E is an Elaine. Starts with E.
Can the people in the chat help, or are they not allowed to help?
That's up. You guys decide.
All right. 25 seconds, and then Arianne, you got 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can't handle the pressure. I can't do it. I can't do it.
You can do it.
But I see song quiz. Yes, that's my favorite thing in the car too. We love to play song quiz. Woo.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, now forget it.
Now the pressure.
Now the pressure's really on. Oh my gosh. My family wouldn't get it either. So that's I do better than my family.
All right. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thanks a lot, George. Thanks very much for coming on. Really appreciate that. All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So let's. Oh, that was a fun one. I didn't actually know that was going to happen. But Arianne, now you're going to get put on the spot every time you're on the screen.
Seriously.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So let's. Daniel, do you think you got it figured out? The audio? I said I was going to come back to you. You just put a note in there in the text. Do you think it's going to work? Let's try. Let's bring you back on here. We'll give you another shot here, Daniel. Let me invite you on screen here. All right, 1 second here. Okay. Let's try this one more time. So your question was for Ian. So let's see if this works. In the meantime, I'll bring up Ian again. All right. Well, that was a tense last 30 seconds of that last round. Okay.
Default.
Yeah, we can hear you, Daniel. That's good. That's good. So okay, so we've got Daniel up there, and we've got Ian, and who else? I'm gonna bring up James here just to get JP in on the action here. So
Bye, Rachel.
Hi,
we'll see you again
how are
soon,
you?
all right?
Good. It's good to see you.
Same here.
All right. So Daniel, do you want to just introduce yourself and maybe give us a little bit of context here just before you ask your question, while we're bringing JP up?
Sure. My name's Daniel. I have a Amazon flash briefing called the Instagram Stories, and I teach small business owners how to use Instagram and other social media tools to grow a following and build authority. And so this has been really exciting for me to learn a new platform that's similar to podcasting, which is a little different. And my question today is for Ian. Ian, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that you either have developed or are working on a live streaming platform. And I was hoping that you could talk about that, especially if there are any Instagram related features or integration paths or anything along those lines. I would love to hear about.
Well, I'm not ready to talk about what we're doing with Instagram.
Oh, sorry.
But what I can say,
enough.
no, that's a fair question, but I would hate to build an expectation that we couldn't meet in a time frame. But what we are doing right now that works is from any device. So it doesn't matter if you have a cell phone, a tablet, a computer, doesn't matter what operating system you're using, if you're a Windows or an Android or an OS person. From our software, Attention Live, you can live stream in real time to Amazon Alexa through the skill and to YouTube. So Amazon Alexa is the example of what we're bringing to the market, in that we're going to allow people to live stream at one time to all voice devices, including Google Assistant, Samsung Bixby, of course, Microsoft Cortana will have access, and Apple Siri through the shortcut. And we're also live streaming to multiple social media sites, not just YouTube, but also Facebook and Twitter. With Instagram, it's unique because some organizations can post to Instagram, some can't. So it's a little bit more technically delicate for us to work that out over time. And then we'll be sending the podcasts to all the podcast platforms as archives, Spotify and SoundCloud and iTunes and Google Podcasts, like you would do right now with Anchor or something of that nature. So we just wanted to create a really simple tool because I need it.
Yeah, no,
I need this. I've needed this for years. And,
it's definitely needed.
And so it's one place. It's very, very simple. And then we've also figured out how to monetize automatically for podcasters, which should be a great help to the majority of them.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to learning more about that.
I can say that Teri and I have seen it working, and it's tasty.
It
is delicious.
Word.
It's a delicious piece of software.
Yeah.
Well, I know, James,
mean,
you're doing a lot of live streaming and stuff. So where do you see this sort of fitting into your workflow and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things I think for most people is live streaming for video and stuff that we do like this. It's great, but you kind of have to be in one place to do it. Whereas the barrier to entry to live stream on audio is just you can do it literally anywhere if you've got even just the iPhone or a mic with you. So I think that's one of the big things. And for so many people who want to essentially have their own radio station set up and to have that kind of always on content feed, again, with video, that's really hard to do. There was this small event that we did last week for 24 hours with 6 simultaneous live streams with video. And it's quite technically, you might have heard about it. It's quite technically difficult to achieve. And it's probably easier just with audio. So on that basis, I'm looking forward to it, if nothing else. But yeah, I think, you know, in all seriousness, like what the guys are working on is just one of the most interesting areas of this. And particularly if you're in entertainment, if you're in content and you want to try and get stuff out to people in real time, there's nothing quite like being able to say on social media, say to Alexa, listen to me now, and have that immediate feedback. Like nowhere else can you do that across all platforms so easily. So yeah, that's what I'm pretty excited for it.
Cool. Daniel, anything else you wanted to ask these guys? You got these two guys here in front of you.
No, but Susan asked what event you're talking about, JP, which is hilarious. That's awesome.
Thanks, Suze. Appreciate that. Slack you later about that. Susan literally watched me have a multi-part meltdown throughout several hours of Voice Global last week.
We call that a connection.
So, thank you all of you for enduring that with us. I don't know if Pete's in the chat. He might be watching along, but we thoroughly appreciate the entire voice community and all that you have done for us.
Hey, it was an impressive event. I got it. It was fantastic. I couldn't imagine the logistics
ambitious.
behind that. So hey, no, that's great. All right, wonderful. Well, Daniel, then we beat the buzzer. We can stop the timer. Thanks for coming on, Daniel. Appreciate
Thanks
that.
for having me.
Good to see you,
And,
Daniel.
Good to see you,
Get the
Daniel.
next- We'll get the next question up. Okay.
Forever to be known as the voice chipmunk, which I'm excited about as a new nickname.
Yeah.
For those of you watching, you may not know, but I've been trying to make this happen for about 6 months now. But if any of you do see Teri in the flesh as lockdown unleashes,
Oh my goodness.
he can only ever be referred to as Teri Fee.
Oh my
Forever
goodness.
and more. This stemmed from earlier in the year in Chattanooga, where Teri employed a cameraman to follow him around constantly. I mean, I know that Ian lives in this life where he has several cameramen often following him around, but yeah, he's very famous. But Teri tried to also inhabit that kind of very Gary V ambiance, and I just want everyone to pick this up. So if you can just put hashtag Teri Fee, TERIFEE, in the chat, that would make me quite happy. And seeing that it is currently, I think
1:28 in the morning.
I think I've made the point quite clearly that it is 1:28.
Everybody,
in the morning.
JP deserves
You
this.
really do owe me this, everyone.
Oh man, thank you very much for that, JP.
Hashtag
Appreciate that.
Fee.
Appreciate
also,
that.
you can go and order a Vixen Labs t-shirt, and if you put hashtag Teri Fee in the chat, I may also put hashtag Teri Fee on the back of those shirts.
At what point here do I just shut this video down, people? I think it's time. All right.
Let's keep going. Good.
Thanks. Okay. Thank you, JP. We're gonna bring up the next person. All right. Oh my goodness, you're hilarious. Okay. So next we've got coming up. Let's have a look at these questions again. So there was a question here about how to design bots by Saeed Abbas. So Saeed, I just sent you an invitation there. Let's see if we can bring you up on screen here. It says accepted and connecting. Hopefully that'll work. And let's bring up. You were wondering about Rachel, but also I think Noelle would be a fantastic person to answer this one. So let's invite them up as well and get those two on screen here while you're coming up. So Noelle, let's get you up here, and let's get Rachel up here as well. All right. And who do we have? Okay, there's Noelle. All right, welcome back, Noelle.
Okay.
Saeed,
It's not for me, but I
and Rachel.
Okay.
All right. Hello. So you two are here, but we're missing Saeed's question. So you know what? We can't get Saeed live, but that's okay. I definitely want to answer his question. I think it's a great one. So why don't we just throw it out there? If Saeed can join us, great. Otherwise, the question is, how do you design bots with a goal to build organic growth? And how do you retain those users? So maybe we can hear a little bit from each of you and how you would suggest go about doing that. And I'll still put the timer up though. You don't get off that easily. So
I'm like, wait, is it 39 seconds? Because that gives me anxiety.
there you go.
All right, awesome. Well, I'll give my 2 cents because I think it comes from a little bit of a different perspective. I am a independent skill developer. I learned there was no book. I learned through GitHub and building skills. So for those of you who don't know, I built over 100 skills in my first year building for Alexa, and 40 of them are still on the platform, and several of them are pretty popular, I'll say. But that being said, the way that they became popular, I basically was able to uncover, there were like 3 main characteristics. So specifically talking about organic growth, I created, or I purposely aligned with Google Trends. So it turned out, luckily for me, that things like mindfulness and kindness were all trending on Google at the time that I started this. They're still trending, thankfully. And so I built skills around that niche, if you will. So that was the first thing, find a trending or something that's interesting, of course, to your user base. The second thing I did was make it daily use. So all of my skills, there's an expectation that you would come back every day. And there's an expectation that you would get new content every day. And then the final thing is that they all started off doing one very simple thing that you would do every day. And then I started adding value on top of that over time. And all of those things led up to, I think I have over 1 million unique users of my skills so far. And I didn't, I'm not a company. I don't have a bunch of people. It was just me, GitHub, and my IDE. And that's it. So yeah, so that's from an indie developer perspective. Those are the things I did to create some pretty significant organic growth in the conversational applications that I built.
Awesome. Awesome.
Oh,
Rachel?
super fast.
Go ahead.
1 minute mindfulness, daily affirmation, and one of my skills, mindfulness, is actually the invocation phrase. So it was back before you had to have a 2-word invocation phrase for us older people out there who have been on the platform. So if you just say, Alexa, open mindfulness, that's my skill. But daily kindness, Christmas kindness, all, Noelle like skills.
Amazing. So, I paused it because we got Saeed here. Saeed, you can hear us and can
hello.
You want to say hello?
I can hear you all.
Awesome. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about who you are, and then we'll let Rachel answer the question as well.
All right. So I have been developing voice skills for Alexa for the past 5 years. I'm a full stack developer, mostly do stuff on cloud, a little bit on AWS and Azure, and now also learning Google Cloud. So I've been developing Alexa skills for the past 5 or 6 years, and now venturing into Google Actions and a little bit of Dialogflow. So, and I do this for a lot of my clients as well. So, the question always is how to retain those users. I think Noelle just gave a very awesome, overview of that. And I've also read Rachel's book and, got a lot of nice ideas from there. So this is the first time that I'm on this platform and really thought I should, ask it. So thank you so much for that.
Amazing, Saeed. Great. Well, Rachel, yeah, I'd love to hear your comments as well.
Yeah, so I'll add my 2 cents here. So I think, first of all, Noelle, 1 million unique users. That's amazing. That's really, really cool. You should be really proud, and I guess you are. And I wanted to actually bring a different perspective. So Noelle was talking from, her own experience in terms of, being a skill builder and getting more people to use it. But I want to focus also, and Saeed, you said that you have your clients that are building it, and I think it's a different perspective. So a lot of times the bots that we're building, either voice or chat bots, are focusing mostly on providing services for a specific company. So instead of having that person replying on the chat, you're actually training a chat bot that can take the question and provide with answers. So I think that organic growth would come, and again, depending if you're using voice or if you're using chat, but organic growth will grow if the chatbot would provide the response that the user was looking for. So if the chatbot is just going to provide answers to questions that no one would ever ask, but they're just like really easy to configure, so you use them and you just put a chatbot so you have a chatbot, that's not the right way to go. So you should really think about what are the questions that customers eventually going to ask that bot. Again, it doesn't matter if it's voice or chat, and then reply or provide with a solution for that. And you'll see that the more service you provide or the more answers to a relevant question that you bring, the more growth you'll see of users leveraging the bot on your website or leveraging, the Alexa skill that you've built for your clients. So I think that's the most important thing in terms of getting new users and obviously also retaining the one that have already leveraged the bot before. So if I tried it and, it was totally crap, I'm not going to try it again. and I'm probably gonna exhaust your call centers or something like that. But if I tried it and it was very helpful, then the user would definitely go and use it again, and you'll see usage growing as your bots continue to grow and provide with more answers and with more capabilities that provide, the right responses for your clients. So I think that having Noelle's perspective, if you're building your skills, and you want to grow them and have that organic growth and see more users. And then again, if you're a business and you're leveraging the bot to provide with some kind of a solution that replaces, a person on your staff to go and reply with those, questions and kind of scaling up. And that's it for us.
Something about the timer, huh?
I had a problem with my audio. I just have one question. And this is related to Noelle and to JP. What do you think is the most promising thing to happen in voice? We know Alexa. Alexa has been there for 5+ years now. And Dialogflow has made Google Actions a little bit popular, I guess. But what is the next thing that we should be looking at? Because Apple is not doing anything with Siri. Not happening. Simply, I don't know why people don't get Bixby is not breaking onto the screen. So what is the next big thing? What should we developers look at from that perspective?
Can you give a really short answer there? And then I'd like to move on. But no.
Sure, I wasn't sure if you wanted to maybe I could write that in and we could add it to the system,
Sure. Why don't we do that? Yeah, why don't we do that? That's a great idea.
It would be good. We want different people,
Great idea, Noelle. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Saeed. That was awesome. Nice to meet you,
Saeed. Thank you for joining in. I really appreciate that. All right. Okay. So let's see here. The next question we've got Heidi. Okay, Heidi, I'm going to invite you on screen. And this is for Noelle as well. Share number one tech skill to learn today. I'm going to bring up JP as well. So Rachel, if you don't mind, we're going to see you back in a little bit, Rachel. All right. And let's bring up JP.
Oh, good. Maybe I can answer Saeed's at the same time. Because it actually is connected.
Okay.
Oh, Heidi, I hope we get to be on camera together.
Let's bring up James as well. Oh, it's not working, Heidi. I'm sending you an invitation and you've got to sort of accept that in order for it to work. So, it says you can't join on screen. That's unfortunate, Heidi. Okay, then Heidi, I think we will do a virtual.
I can bring her picture up on my phone and hold her like.
That's too bad, Heidi. Tell you what, we're going to put the timer up. They're going to answer your question and I will keep trying to get you on screen while they're answering it. All right, how about that? So, her question, just to read it out here, can you share the number one tech skill to learn today for those entering voice/AI? And also, just a hello, she says. So, all right. So let's dive in.
All right.
What do you think?
I'll start and then James can jump on in anytime. We've
Thank
had
you,
a
Noelle.
similar conversation before. So if you're not, too so I'm very passionate about this specific question. I'm like, I didn't pay you to say this, but I could have. I think it's really important. I'm very excited about the opportunity of democratizing who's learning to code right now. So I really do think basic learn to code type skills, web development skills are useful. So whether it's a boot camp, whether like the way I learned going to Barnes & Noble, yes, I think there's still a company, and buying books and or going to GitHub and learning through experiences with building code. But here's why I think that's important, because voice is just one accessibility point, right? It's just one way of reaching a type of consumer, but there are so many other things that we should be thinking about, not just people who struggle with screens and keyboards and small devices, but also what about people who can't speak or can't see or can't hear, or those people that, there's just people with all sorts of different ranges of capability. And there are many, like over a dozen artificial intelligence models that assist in this. And so what I want to do is make sure that if you learn to code, you know that these AI models exist and you start implementing them. I'll give you one example, which I want every website should have it, which is called Immersive Reader. It's a simple API that allows you to create an immersive reading experience. So instead of seeing blocks of text, it creates this single line, which makes it easier for people who struggle with words like dyslexia or ADD or ADHD. It makes it easier for them to consume the content, and nothing changes for the developer other than that single line of code that allows you to turn it on. So creating accessibility, being cognizant of all the types of people who will use our software. I think voice first, our initial approach was good, but I think it was just the beginning of now as a developer, voice is one aspect, but now let's look at computer vision, text analytics, sentiment analysis, and all the other APIs that can help us build a more accessible experience.
That's so good.
Awesome. JP.
And I'll take this as a twofer. So I think on the tech front, I think there is a big shift towards people getting much more literate around SEO. I think that, skills and actions and capsules and all this kind of stuff, it's great fun, but it's like one sliver of the parcel. And what I mean by that is if you compare to where the voice industry is now to where say the social media industry was at its similar kind of type of maturity level, everyone was getting really excited about building Facebook pages, and no one was thinking about where we would end up today with content living on 12 different platforms and scrolling through TikTok. And it's the same basic problem, right? So in long term, there'll be domains that you go to for specific content, but the reality is that most people are going to be just having a feed of requests all the time. And so we need to get much smarter about how to get content to index and rank across these major platforms and make it show up. So I think SEO, you've got to pay a lot more attention to. But I think the bigger, more important thing is not actually a tech skill, but is learning about habits. I think the more you invest in learning about how habits are formed and how habits are kept and built, the more successful you're going to be in voice, because voice is the most habitual thing that you can possibly invest your time into. Getting people to say stuff out loud, it just embodies things in a way that nothing else does. And so that is a psychological and mental trigger to create those habit loops that nothing else does. So I will drop in 3 recommended books for you to go and read on habit forming and the power of habits into the chat. So they're not affiliate links. They should be. If I had thought ahead, they would be. But I would learn about habit forming, because that is one of the most powerful things that we can have, whether you want to get people to learn how to use your flash briefing, or to recall the utterances and invocations that you want them to say to their devices, or to even remember to, when they sit down in their car, to say, Alexa, start my drive, or Alexa, start my commute, or Alexa, do this or that, whatever it might be. You need people to think to do that in the first place.
Yeah, and since we've expanded beyond tech, I did want to honor the integrity of the question, but I agree with you that there are things more important than the language you choose to learn. I totally agree. And I think understanding, I'm gonna let it beat because it drives me. I can't even think right now. So now I can find peace and just say, I think it's important that we create a level of self-awareness, right? I've always talked to you about this, James, that mindfulness is so important. And so really getting, not only understanding how other people think, but even understanding how we think will change how we build our software. So Thanks for letting me talk for 3 seconds after that.
Great answers. Amazing. Okay, next question. Moving right along. We got a question here about, Alexa Auto, so we know who's coming up. This is from Sandra. So Sandra, I'm going to invite you on screen, and we'll see you soon, Noelle.
Yeah, bye.
Okay. And you, JP, will see you soon. And I'm going to bring up Arianne. So let's do that. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, you are here, and we may have an issue with Sandra's video as well. If that's the case, we'll do the same thing. We'll sort of answer them virtually. And I think, I don't think that's going to be working. But what I'm going to do is I'll let you answer a couple of questions virtually. I'm also going to, just looking ahead, while I do that, I'm going to bring up Ian. I'm going to bring you up to grab the next question as well. So, okay, so the question for you, Arianne, then is, they're wondering about older cars. So does Alexa Auto work in older cars? For example, 2005 models, etc.
Yeah. Great question, and the answer is absolutely. So the Echo Auto, as an aftermarket device, actually works in any car that you can connect through Bluetooth or an auxiliary cable. And if you really have to, we can go back old school and with the cassette tape things, but most cars, 2005, you'll have one of those two things, hopefully that auxiliary cable, and it actually comes with the pieces that you need to get that connected. I know my car is not quite that old, but really close, and so I use an auxiliary cable to connect my Echo Auto in my car. So yeah, it's no problem, and that's really the point of the device, is to be able to help people in older cars that don't have the hardware or software capabilities to get Alexa actually embedded into the infotainment system, to be able to bring Alexa into those cars. So great question.
Amazing. And I'm actually bringing on Andy as well, because we're going to kind of kill two birds with one stone. He had another specific question about Alexa Auto. So I'm just seeing if he's able to
Can I mention something about Alexa Auto?
Do it. Do it, Ian. Yeah. Do it.
So I got 3 Alexa Autos for my cousin. And he had 3 old trucks that, just like you were talking about, there wasn't really a good option for him. He couldn't really connect his cell phone to it. And so I got him 3 of those for Christmas. And it's not like it's life-changing, but it certainly connects him and allows him to get things done differently than he did before. And that's something that's so valuable that Amazon's brought to market through the Echo Auto division, is that they've been mindful of people that don't have the newest car, the newest device, and still give people access. So to you and your team, great job.
Thanks.
Awesome. I'm not sure if Andy's coming.
I see Ray asked about an 8-track. Yeah, I don't think it works with an 8-track.
That would be
but
impressive.
I love that.
That would be very impressive.
We'll need to do that.
I'm not sure what's going on with Andy, but if he can't come on, I can just tell you his question. His question is, what are turning out to be the top skills used on Echo Auto?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's what I can tell you, and I'm going to go broader than just Echo Auto, because Echo Auto is just one way to get Alexa into your car. There are a number of other aftermarket devices that you can bring into your car that has Alexa built in. From everything from aftermarket car stereos to things as simple as like a phone mount that you can, bring Alexa into your car. As well as for the newer cars, we actually have Alexa embedded into the head units or the infotainment systems of the cars, which is really our North Star experience, which we're super excited about. And so when you think about just the way people use Alexa across the board when they're in their cars, there's sort of 4 key areas or domains. First one is entertainment, which is probably not a surprise to people, right? Being able to play music or games, those kinds of things, listen to podcasts or flash briefings, all of that. The second one is around communications. So being able to continue to use your voice to make phone calls or join a conference call, that sort of thing. The third one is around navigation, which is obviously an important use case in the car. And that includes not just getting you there, the turn-by-turn directions, but also just being aware of your surroundings and being able to find things in your area to actually navigate to. And then the last one that gets used really for the embedded solution, when Alexa is actually embedded into the infotainment system, is around car control. So being able to do all those things like change the temperature in your car, turn the fan up, put the windows down, all while, as we say, keeping your hands on the wheel and eyes on the road. So those are the 4 key areas, plus all of those tens of thousands of skills, that some of those that we've been talking about, you can bring all those into the car with you too.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. And we beat the buzzer there as well. So awesome. All right. Well, thank you for answering that. And thank you for the questions, both of you. And now we've got one for Ian, and it's also about sort of accessibility. So I think I might bring Noelle back on for this one. All right. So we'll see you again in a bit, Arianne. Thank you. And let me bring on, we're going to invite Zeke on and Noelle. So Noelle, we're going to bring you back up here. Okay. And again, we may be having a little trouble here today with getting the guests online, but that's okay. Then we'll do it virtually again. Okay. We'll try one more
I'd
time.
like to see the treehouse. They like to see the treehouse.
Yeah, there
The
you go.
treehouse is so awesome.
If anything, you could do like a virtual background.
I know. People
there's
think
a
I'm on
little-
a virtual background when I'm at a
Right.
treehouse, but then I go and I swing on the swing, I hang on the tree.
There's a little surprise coming up. You're going to see the treehouse. You're going to see the treehouse. There's a little surprise
It is
coming
true.
up. All right, so Ian, I'm gonna
it's
just
coming.
throw this question out to you. I'm not sure if Zeke's able
Ready
to get
for
on
it.
today either, but let's have a listen to, or I'll read the question to you guys, and then we're gonna set the timer here. So this is to you, Ian, and Noelle. I think you're an excellent person to answer this one as well. I've heard you speak about how voice will level the playing field, offering people who perhaps cannot read or write the opportunity to tell stories and communicate with the world. How long before voice is ready to be launched formally in this capacity, and what voice platform will win the race?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
what voice platform will win the race? Hopefully none of them will win the race. It's probably best for humanity. It's probably best for business and for all the different ecosystem that will be in place for there to be lots of competitors in this space. I'm really happy to see people like Houndify do so well. As far as accessibility or what's available, a lot of it comes down to the grit and tenacity of a team saying, hey, we're really going to push further and make sure that blind people have the exact same access to understand how to use our product and not just pretend like, oh, well, it's voice, so no big deal, but really to go through the process of how do you help the elderly, right? How do we start reaching into this elderly generation and provide accessibility for them in a way that they currently don't have, and not just be like, well, it's so easy. I mean, their grandkid can show them. So how can the teams that are building, combined with the folks that can train, really make sure to do the work it takes to onboard people? And this is why a lot of new tech takes decades to really be useful. This is why so many different technologies you've seen come through the last 20, 30 years, it takes so long for it to mature, because there might be a team with great tenacity and drive and grit, and they build a great product, but then they don't tell people how to use it. There might be a great team that knows how to get people to use their product, but it doesn't work that well. And so it just takes time to get the combination and get all the synergy going. So that's my thought. Noelle, I'd love to hear what you think.
Thank you. I think one of the things that I think about is not necessarily where we are right now, but where we will be in the future. And I know you're very much like this, Ian, also, so you probably see similarly. But one thing I always think about is like my grandparents, and how I wish, they're both gone now, how I wish I could ask them like what it was like to be a parent, and my grandmother was a nurse, also in a very tough field, and what it was like to manage her career and manage 3 kids. And I just wish I could talk to her. Now I'm in a season where I am able to record, I'm a TikToker, if you will, record my daily activity in real, not Instagram rose-colored glasses, but like literally in a real way, where our technology, this is what I love, like how do we create not just accessibility to the tech, but the ability to actually use it to tell their story. So how do I think the burden falls on people like us, right? I have to go to my dad and say, Dad, I want you to talk to me, and I want to record you. I want to take your picture in all these different angles, so that I can formulate it into a VR 3D image. I can ingest all the letters you've ever written me and all of the audio I've ever gotten from you. I can recreate your voice, and I can recreate, right? So that your grandchildren and your great-great-great-grandchildren will have a way of remembering your story. And so that's when I read this, that's what came to me. And the tech is actually there. The burden is really on us as the creators and the engineers and the ideators to build it. But the tech is there, the AI is there. How do we use our power for good to help people that are still alive capture their lives in this way? And I've heard Brian talk about this a lot. I'm sure some of you have as well. But I think it's a real thing that it takes someone to actually do that activity of capturing that information. The technology is actually not less of the problem, I see.
Wonderful. Thank you. Any other final comments there, Ian or Noelle, or is that?
I guess quickly, I'll just comment on what Ian said about winning the race. I totally agree. I hope nobody wins. I hope it stays ubiquitous. It stays completely on. I hope more players join the fun. What I do hope, though, is that people like me get to build a skill or a bot experience one time, and that I get to just distribute it across channels. I don't have to build for Google and build for Alexa. I've talked about this on many stages. Like, it does not make sense for me to do that. And my customers get a diluted experience when that's required. So I'm looking for us to evolve as an industry to the point where we create more and more channels and we distribute and democratize accessibility. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And again, look at that, beating the buzzer. You guys are on fire today. All right. Nice job. Well, thank you for that. That was sorry?
I said I only beat one of two buzzers.
Okay. Well, we've got the last couple. We're on track, so that's great. Thank you for that. That's a great question, and thank you for both of you for those great answers. We have 4 minutes left, and so what I want to do is I'm just going to wrap up the session. This just like last time. This just flew by. This went so fast. So I have a couple of announcements here. So I'm going to say goodbye to the two of you for a moment, Ian and Noelle. Thank you both for your contributions again, and I have a couple of special announcements for you. Now, first of all, as you will know, this is the second session of the Voice Den, and we have the third session of the Voice Den coming up. And what I would like to share with you, first of all, is a little bit of a preview of the third session Voicefluencers. So take a look at this little video. So there you go. That's a little taste of what is to come in a month's time, June 22nd. Now, here is the special little surprise. In addition to everything that you've seen, I hope you had a wonderful time. Thank you again to all the Voicefluencers for being part of this. It's a little bit of a chat with them, but here's the deal. As you may have seen, there has been a lot of promotional material around the Voicefluencers and the Voicefluencer cards. Now, if you were here last time, you may have heard a little bit about these cards, that they are essentially special cards that are made whenever somebody appears on this show, the Voice Den. And in combination with Ian Utile, one of the Voicefluencers today, his company and I partnered to create something very special and something completely unique for the voice industry. And so we have a very short recorded video that we want to share with you, announcing a new aspect to the Voice Den. And here it is. Here we are with Ian Utile, one of the Voicefluencers here on session number 2. And this is a recording that we're making to announce the next level when it comes to these Voicefluencer cards. So we are both really, really excited about what we are doing here. This is a whole new level of gamification for the Voice Den, and it includes the Voicefluencer cards. So maybe, Ian, before I get into how this works, because there's a little logistical stuff that's going to be a lot of fun, I hope, for everybody. Maybe you can explain just a little bit about what these NFT cards are, so people have an idea of what we're talking about.
Teri is your friend. He certainly is very, very friendly and thoughtful and empathetic and trying to figure out how can he provide as much value as possible to people. And so one of the ways that he's doing that is by partnering with me and our company to create these NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. And what that means is each card is one of one, right? There's only one of the Utile, the Optimist NFT cards. There's more than one of them, but every single one is one of a kind. So there's gonna be 53 winners. And this is why I say Teri's so friendly. Most people do a contest, they give away something to somebody. Now, Teri, he's gonna have 53 prizes. And that's a big deal because these, it's fun, it's a game, it's interactive, it's engaging, and because it's one of one, I mean, the whole point of the NFT is to hold value of some sort, like a Pokemon card or, you know, a Magic the Gathering card or a baseball or football card. And so that's what we've created. We've created these fun little kind of sports trading cards, no need to print and kill trees. It's all digital and it's automatically created, and we're going to distribute these out. The way we're going to do it is with this really, really fun contest. And so, Teri, you want to talk a bit about why it is that we're going to have 53 different winners, what folks can win, and this is the announcement right here. We're in the middle of Voice Den session 2, and this is our moment to invite people to participate.
So this is it. At this moment, we are announcing the Voicefluencer NFT card giveaway. And you can see that we are here on session 2, and this is going to be taking place over the next month leading up to session number 3. This is completely gamified, and the way that you actually win these cards is by carrying out a couple of different challenges. The first one, for example, is going to be registering for the Voice Den session 3. It's as simple as that. And pay very close attention, because those of you that are right now here on session number 2, remember this code word, Head Start, HEADSTART, all capitals, all one word, because that code actually gets you extra bonus entries to win some of these Voicefluencer cards. Now, as Ian mentioned, there's going to be 53 winners. There's going to be a grand prize winner, and that person is going to get a copy of all of the 10 Voicefluencer cards that you can see on the screen behind me. The second place winner is going to get the 5 cards from this particular session, session number 2. And the third place winner is going to get the 5 cards from session number 3. And then the next 50 people with the highest number of accumulated points are each going to get 2 Voicefluencer cards. And at the end of the day, we're giving away 120 of these cards. Like I said, there are lots of different ways that you can win them in terms of accumulating the number of points that you need to get these. And I'm just really excited to be able to bring this whole game now to the Voice Den. Ian, any final comments about this contest?
You are an innovative, courageous, risk-taking, full of life leader, Teri. Congratulations on continually over and over and over and over again, finding ways to position yourself to try new things and provide value to those that are connected with you. I, the other Voicefluencers in the community, we have a lot of honor for you. So that's my final word.
Thanks very much, Ian. And thank you to everybody. So this, as I said, it will be live, if not now, very shortly after the close of session 2. And I encourage you to go check it out. All the information will be at thevoiceden.com. And now back to the live, Teri. Hey there. So that's the news. Really fun. So we've basically got collectible cards, and we're holding a contest, and you can win these collectible cards. They are unique. They are one of a kind. There is no other one like the one that you win in the world. So a little bit of information about that. You'll see a button that shows up right at the bottom, Voicefluencer card giveaway. If you click on that, this is actually the only way that you'll find a link right now until it goes live on the website, but you can click on that, and that will take you to the contest where you can start to accumulate points as of right now. Again, just a big thank you to everybody that was part of this. Big, huge thank you to Amazon Alexa for sponsoring this. Thank you to all the Voicefluencers. This wouldn't be here without you. And finally, thank you to you, all the participants. It's so wonderful to have you here. thank you for coming, being part of the Voice Den. I hope that we will see you in about 4 weeks' time at the Voice Den. And I'm going to sign off with these credits. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you very, very soon.